So hello there, my name's Dane Lemaitre, welcome to the video, and this is a review on Duck, the Great Western engine. I'm sure you'll agree, he's a very nice looking model. This is him in the Hornby range, and I did a review on Duck previously, however it was a joint review. I did him with Oliver, Toad and old Slow Coach as well. That was 6 years ago, and back then I wasn't 100% confident with everything that I was saying about the models. I didn't think it was going to make a very long review, I wasn't too sure what to say, so I decided to do them together, and the fact they were all Great Western. However, I mentioned in my previous video, which was on old Slow Coach, that I might possibly do a review on Duck by himself, seeming as I'd done the back when Oliver and Toad won separately. I mentioned their Hornby models in that, so I thought I might just do this one alone, which I've done. The first review I ever done was on Bakerloo in the Underground Ernie range. Underground Ernie was a short-lived children's animated show, and there's also Chuggington as well, which was a lot more successful. But nevertheless, I think Thomas is still a lot more successful. So yeah, this is Duck in the Hornby range, and if you take a look, from a distance he looks like a really well detailed model. However, when I look really closely at him, the face on Duck is good. It looks like his face in the model series of the show when he first appeared. However, the grey on the face, in my opinion, is far too dark. It should be a lot paler than that, so that's a bit too dark. And then if you look around the sides, you've got all bits there that are in green. In my opinion, they should be in black. Again, they were black in the TV series and the Railway series as well, so I think that should be the same. And then if you look along the top, you've got all these green bits on top as well. To me, that sort of looks cheap and plastic and a bit tacky, really. You can also buy Duck in the Bachmann range. I haven't got the Bachmann model of Duck, but in my opinion, that looks a lot more like Duck does in the TV series. All the detail more or less there. My only criticism of that Bachmann model would be, obviously you can see here, the buffer holders are red here, like they should be. On the Bachmann one, they're painted black. So I think that's the only real letdown with that model. And Duck here, as you can see, has his number 8. Now in the Railway series, he was 5741, the number that he came with. And that was also in some of the annual stories. However, in the later annual stories that were illustrated, he had his number 8. And in the TV series, like I said, he's always been number 8. And in the Railway series, I always found it strange, because obviously Toby was number 7, and Donald and Douglas 9 and 10, and there was no number 8 engine, so in my opinion having Duck as number 8 did make some sense. But like I say, it depends whether you like the Railway series or the TV series most. I'm sort of a mixture of both really, but I'll always like the books. I certainly prefer the older TV series to the newer CGI animated one. And as I said before, a lot of the models that were in the show originally could now be seen at Drayton Manor. I do really hope to go over there again. And I was hoping to go back in March, but then obviously the place where they are closed down because of COVID-19, because of restrictions, social distancing and all that. I looked on the website and it's still closed now. And but anyway, yeah, although Duck isn't 100% accurate, I do still think he's a really nice model. He runs really, really nicely indeed. say Duck was my most favourite character. However, he was in series 7 last, then he was absent for a while, came back in series 12, then he was absent again, came back in series 17. And he was in the magazine stories in that time, so he wasn't entirely forgotten. And so I wouldn't say he was my favourite, but when he obviously was absent for a while in the TV series, I'll be honest, I did miss him, so it was great when he came back. So that was Duck running there. He does also come with the box as well, as you can see here, in the what I call the older style of packaging. Although I say old style of packaging, there is much older style of packaging that I've got some of my engines in. And then later on in the Hornby range, before they discontinued it the first time round, there was the newer packaging that had the CGI animated Thomas on, as you can see here. And Duck also comes in his box with some plastic lamp irons, so lamps and brake pipes, which you can add. I haven't actually added them yet, but I will do at some point. They're there, so I will add them. My model of Duck I actually got from a toy shop in Rushden called Osborne's, and round the corner from Osborne's is the Rushden railway station, observe little railway line. I went past there the other day, and the Class 31's there. I drove the Class 31 diesel, and behind it, as you can see here, is a pacer train they've now got, and reserved. And again, that station's closed at the minute because of COVID-19. And Osborne's, as I was saying earlier, was originally opened by a man called Jim Osborne. He passed away a few years ago, but at Rushden they've got this special plaque on their engines. They run on special running days in his memory. And Osborne's is a nice toy shop, so I recommend you go there. I do think this model of Duck's really, really nice. Like I said, detail's not fantastic, but then it's also not bad either in some ways. And from a distance, and when I was younger, I could safely say, that's Duck. I suppose when you're younger, you don't really look at the details. When you get older, you look at the detail. But for me, again, having a model that just runs really nicely and being able to watch it, it's a joy, really. So I might get the back one another time, not now, but maybe another time. But I do think it's a really nice model of Duck. Definitely the most detailed and best model of Duck I think that I've got in all the ranges that I've got. I'd give him a 9.5 out of 10 because I don't think he's 100% there to give a 10 out of 10. But I do think he's a really, really nice model. And in my videos I like to add facts and that, and you probably saw that I reviewed Class 40. Although on his Hornby model I said they used a Class 37. And here's a real Class 40. You can see the difference is the amount of wheels. Class 40's got 8 wheels both ends, and a Class 37's got 6 wheels both ends. They've done that in the magazine stories to him as well. It's not just the Hornby model. So that was a little bit of a letdown on that model. But, and a Class 40 diesel was also involved in the Great Train Robbery that happened at this bridge in 1963. And my dad actually lived not far from here at one point, he was telling me. And again, the Great Train Robbery, I think history, particularly railways, it always interests me. It's been made into TV series adaptations as well. Part of our history really, so, obviously not very good that it happened, but, something interesting to find out about, I always think. But yeah, the Class 40 diesel was actually involved in that as well, this particular one here, which, I find quite interesting. I always like to add a few facts in the video because I think it makes it a bit more interesting. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, goodbye.